Everyone, I'm Mookie. I'm here with Aleem from DDN.
Hello. Yes, I will be representing DDN. That stands for Distributed Digital Nomads.
Aleem, I know this presentation has a lot of detailed information from your many years of successful experience. Could you start by briefly telling me what I will ultimately gain if I use your services?
The unique services offered by DDN open up opportunities for a rapid launch of your own modern IT business in just 4 weeks, even without the skills required for complex system development. Your clients will be the users of an mobile application for on-demand outcall services. The option of having your own proprietary software product gives you the ability to lead the business globally. This path provides you with a fully functional, self-owned mobile application in a production release, accessible to users in application stores such as Google Play. You can personally adjust the size of the commission fee from users, which you receive immediately into your account upon every completed hourly job facilitated through your mobile application. Simply, your app. You can add and modify any language for the mobile application interface. And for your users, over 50 currencies will be available for cashless payments, along with all currencies for cash payments for on-demand outcall services through your app. There is also an option to enable cryptocurrencies. Your app will be designed for ordering outcall services in the industry you selected for your app, and the list of services can always be supplemented and modified by you without programming and updating the app. All apps like yours, operating on the Internet of Labor platform, come out of the box with a full cycle of order processing automation, from ordering the services to instant payment for the job. They also get built-in subsystems, such as a guarantee of payment for services between users, security and quality control of work, and user support in different languages with moderation levels. You initially get full control of the app's source code and choose which developer account to use for publication to the application stores. As soon as your app is available in the application stores for users, we will develop a business model that aligns with your business vision and our experience with other globally scalable on-demand outcall service apps. There are models by which you can attract regional entrepreneurs in different countries. The platform is constantly evolving, with artificial intelligence being integrated into the platform's interaction with app users. All innovations are immediately available for your app. You and your team will receive various detailed instructions for app settings without coding and app updates. Technical support for the Internet of Labor platform is managed independently of the app running on it, but you retain access to the engineering service that participated in launching your specific app. Overall, the technical maintenance of such a business is easier even than laundromat franchises. Our unique services and resources for launching such app are paid, but we have the possibility of sponsoring them for you. Also, DDN is a strategic technical partner of the Labor S Capital DAO, the International Accelerator of Systems for Outcall Services. This will allow us to take the shortest route to bring your business to DeFi investments for business promotion. An announcement in the official channels of the Internet of Labor ecosystem about the launch of a new EOL app will reach the users of all apps already running on the platform, and many of them will try out your app immediately. Throughout all these procedures for launching your business, you will gain access to open and private information resources of the Internet of Labor ecosystem, such as messenger groups, forums, and discussions in Git repositories. These constitute the community that shares experiences, proposes ecosystem improvements, and jointly holds wonderful events in different parts of the globe. Although with such a super app and a global business, you can be proud and confident at any other events among investors and well-known individuals.
Wow, indeed, with an app like that, I would always and everywhere have something to talk about. You mentioned the option of having my own app. What is the other option, and what would I get in that case?
There is an option of our services for those who only want a regional business based on the existing apps on the Internet of Labor platform. Global businesses with their own apps on the platform include the possibility of scaling the business according to their terms. Under these terms, you can get an exclusive territory where all commissions from services in that area bring revenue into your own regional business. You undergo training and receive detailed instructions for a quick and easy start to a regional business with the best possible conditions, as the owners of the app businesses are interested in rapidly increasing users in different regions of the planet. You will be introduced to the owners and leaders of other similar regional businesses, and you should be ready for invitations to participate in events related to the Internet of Labor ecosystem worldwide. These connections will also provide you with assistance in preparing your business reports, including those for government agencies.
I can already imagine myself as a businesswoman at a Web3 summit in Paris, and then shopping and making new acquaintances. But I don't speak French.
Communicating in other languages in real time is not a problem these days, thanks to the capabilities of GPT apps. Also, with a business on such a super app, which helps millions of people to get decent job orders or quality services, you will always have an excellent topic for conversation with anyone, from high officials to service workers in your app's industry.
Yes, I agree. Now everyone has a universal real-time interpreter on their phones.
And now, get ready for the detailed information about all of this and thorough demonstrations of already launched apps on the Internet of Labor platform. This will leave no doubt about the quality of our services, our many years of experience in building the Internet of Labor ecosystem, and the potential of your future super app. It will also become clear to you why this is so cheap, fast, and does not require an office with employees.
But before that, dear listeners, please take a few seconds to like, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your mates.
Yes, please. After all, the Internet of Labor as a Web3 platform, the more apps there are, the more decentralized nodes are launched in different regions of the world, which makes the platform's apps faster.
Thank you very much. Well, I am all ears for the detailed information.
The current global crisis was predicted by many scientists, economists, and statisticians over the last 20 years. The primary cause of the crisis is demographics. Population aging in both developed and developing countries leads to several consequences. Experienced employees are aging, which reduces their effectiveness or leads to retirement. The number of specialists born after the so-called baby boom is significantly smaller. The ratio of working population to non-working population is substantially decreasing, and consumption is falling. In these conditions, companies begin to look for ways to optimize their business processes. They reduce costs, automation is increasingly applied, and artificial intelligence partially or fully replaces routine and office work. Companies are also bypassing intermediaries, and some are simply going bankrupt or liquidating due to insufficient profit. These processes lead to staff reductions and layoffs in companies. Over the last 2 to 3 years, major layoffs have been observed even in well-known global corporations. The consequence is rising unemployment, declining wages, and increased demands on employees regarding the volume of work per unit of time.
Yes, every week I see reports online about layoffs and more people looking for jobs. There is also public discontent in the streets, and aggressively inclined youth are gathering more often. Are governments doing anything to solve these problems?
Governments and central banks are attempting to mitigate the negative effects by using the printing press and providing subsidies to companies and the population. But this helicopter money leads to mounting inflation, which in turn devalues labor.
Are there any solutions or proposals to alleviate the situation with population employment?
One solution to the problem of unemployment emerged from academic research conducted by Almaz Kamathanov since 2010. He is an applied mathematician specializing in informatics in economics. This solution is known today as the Internet of Labor, abbreviated as EOL. Remember the word EOL. We will often use this short name for the platform.
To implement it, he assembled a team of experts and highly qualified specialists from different countries in 2019. The COVID-19 lockdown provided this group with time to develop the EO ecosystem, considering the following requirements. 1. The EO ecosystem must be non-commercial and supported only by authors' royalties, which ensures high reliability and low commissions for EO providers. 2. EO must be a decentralized platform for the rapid creation of mobile applications for on-demand outcall services. Anyone can use the platform to create a mobile application and launch their business without permanent staff developers and system administrators, becoming an EO provider. The business is built on commissions from users, which are charged after service orders are completed. 3. It must have a mechanism for labor diversification for the mutual support of service industries and to ensure payments to users who have become temporarily or permanently incapacitated. 4. It must have the ability to perform work on credit, providing internal digital bearer debt receipts for this purpose. These can be useful in cases where the national currency is temporarily unavailable to the population for one reason or another. This receipt must be redeemable, for example, by exchange for national currencies without losing its face value. 5. High ROI, return on investment, for businesses on the EO platform. 6. Global reach, support for all currencies and languages. 7. Guarantees of quality, payment, and labor safety. It is important to review this presentation sequentially, as the information in the following slides is built upon the preceding data. Let's look at the working scheme of the Internet of Labor ecosystem and platform in detail, using the original video clip from 2019.
IOL, the Internet of Labor, is a decentralized or distributed ecosystem platform as one of the possible solutions to solve the global unemployment problem. IOL is a socio-economic system. IOL as a distributed system uses third-party resources such as GitHub, file and data storage services, cloud services, blockchain and legal financial service providers. Also, it uses distributed database technology based on blood vessels methodology. There is special software, IOL Builder. IOL Builder allows to generate IOL applications. We also name them IOL providers or just IOL apps. An IOL provider is a software running in IOL ecosystem using IOL features. Users can use the IOL Builder to create IOL apps. The user or user group that created an IOL provider becomes the author of the IOL provider. The basic concept of IOL providers is, the job performer, or simply worker, must arrive at the place of the work with some tools and do the job for the customer. IOL provider can work using one of the algorithms provided by IOL. Fixed amount of payment for job. Time-based payment for job, price for hour. Payment for job based on distance, price for meter. Payment for job based on combination of time and distance, price for hour plus price for meter. An IOL provider can be a commercial application and configured by the author to take fee from users as part of payment for job. IOL generates SINRO in an amount proportional to the size of the fee and puts to the user's balance in Nixle app that paid the fee. Thus, IOL provider makes the IOL as a platform. Nixle is essentially a non-commercial IOL provider with access to special IOL ecosystem features. Nixle does not take fees for use it. Expenses for support it carried out only from the royalty. Let's consider an example where a user orders a cleaner in an IOL app that was created for many kind of cleaning job. So, there are users. Any user can be a worker, job performer, and can be a customer and hire other users. Say, some of the users are applied in the cleaners app as workers and set their conditions in the app: served area, minimal hour rate, type of cleaning jobs that they want to do, etc. This user is gonna be a customer. Okay, let's go on step by step. The customer opens the Cleaners app and does log in with Nixle. It opens Nixle app if it is installed or shows suggestion to install Nixle application. The user accepts Cleaners app logging in Nixle app and the cleaner comes back to the screen. This looks like OAuth 2 mechanism, like probably you log in some websites via Facebook. The customer opens a new order, choose one or more types of cleaning jobs and sets job location, start time, end time, maximal hour price and payment methods, accept cash and/or accept Nixle payment. Currency is set to domestic currency by default but changeable if it's allowed in particular IOL app configuration. When customer publishes the order, the IOL estimates payment amount for whole job and move the sum to pending state. The customer sees it in the Nixle. This makes payment guarantee for the job. All the workers that fit for the order receive push notification at the same time. Clicking on the notification, workers can see the order derails and customer's profile in the IOL app, and the customer's Nixle profile where they can also find other related to the order information out such as customer's rating in the IOL app, read feedback group chat of the customer in the particular app, etc. If the order and customer OK, workers they can just click on Get button on the order, otherwise just can click Ignore. The customer receives a notification of each worker that clicked Get the job unless already someone is hired or the order is cancelled or the job start time is expired. Now, the customer can check each of the workers' profiles, rating in the IOL app, read feedback group chat of the workers in the particular app that applied for the job. The customer chooses one of the worker that applied for the job clicking Hire button. IOL creates a smart contract, sets the state of the smart contract of the job to accepted by the parties, and the worker receives a notification immediately. From now both of them see a rounded yellow warning button in the Nixle app that signals about uncompleted job. Parties are notified in Nixle about pending job performance and offered to share their real-time location. The notification is sent before job start time for the time specified in the settings of the IOL provider. This will help to quickly meet the parties at the job place. Now, the parties can inform the system about the start of job by pressing the appropriate button. At the same time, the system sends a notification to the other party that the job performance just began and starts counting according the settings of the IOL provider. The worker can inform the system about the pause, temporary suspension, of job by pressing the appropriate button. At the same time, the system sends a notification to the customer about this and suspends counting job cost. Parties can inform the system about the completion of job by pressing the appropriate button. After this event, the system does the following: sends a notification to the other party that the job has been done. Calculates actual cost of the job according settings of the IOL provider. If estimate cost equals to actual cost, then the amount equal estimate cost is deducted from the pending balance of the customer and put to the worker's balance. If estimate cost is greater than actual cost, then actual cost is deducted from the pending balance of the customer and put to the worker's balance. Amount equal estimate cost minus actual cost returns from customer's pending to available. If estimate cost is less than actual cost, then actual cost is deducted from the customer's pending and put to the worker's balance. Amount equal actual cost minus estimate cost is deducted from the customer's balance and put to the worker's balance. At the same time, if amount equal actual cost minus estimate cost is less than the customer have in balance, then only the available amount is deducted. The customer has a debt to the worker that associated with the job smart contract. If the IOL provider has settings to charge fees, the system will charge that fees from parties. The amount of the fees is indicated in the job smart contract and deducted from actual cost after payment for job. 80% of the fees for jobs that has been done not for SINRO or IOU are put to user balances in proportion to the amount invested in this IOL provider. 20% is put to the balance of the user that created this IOL provider. IOL generates SINRO equal to the fee that has been deducted at the current SINRO rate of job payment currency. If this currency does not have current exchange rate relative to SINRO, then a cross calculation is used relative to existing rates using FSP exchange rates. Thus, SINRO appears only when some job has been done actually. The fee will be shared out to users in proportion to their SINRO invested in this IOL provider. Users can invest and take back their SINRO to or from IOL providers in the PPS, Project or Profit Stake section, of balance in Nixle. SINRO allows users to have passive income from fees. For example, workers that have seasonal job are able to have income from fees in other IOL providers where provided other kind of job. Amount equals SINRO corresponding to the fee is added to the rating of the IOL provider where the job has been done. If the job has been done for SINRO or IOU, then the amount of SINRO corresponding to the fee is withdrawn from the IOL and added to the IOL provider rating. Royalty donation is deducted from the parties after fee payment. Fees and royalty are paid in the job payment currency. If recipients do not have such the currency balance, then the system opens a balance in the currency automatically. The transactions that had been explained after the job has been done occur in IOL ecosystem in milliseconds. At the same time, the quality control subsystem of IOL works with the customer and worker. IOL quality is an organizational and technical mechanism for quality control of performers and customers of jobs. IOL quality includes job evaluation by the customer, customer evaluation by the performer of the job and feedback. After job completion, the customer and the job performer will be offered to evaluate each other on an 11-point system. Marks from -5, very bad, to 5, excellent, and 0 if indifferent, neutral. The evaluation number will be calculated as mark multiplied by amount of SINRO that has been given for fee. The evaluation number will be added to total rate of user in the IOL provider where the job has been taken. The rating is calculated relative to the maximum of the scores of all users as a performer or customer in the IOL provider. The ratings are separated for users as for worker or as for customer. The ratings are available to see in user's profile for all users. Customers see the list of workers that applied for a smart order sorted by rating descending. After evaluation, users will be offered to leave a feedback in group chat that created for each pair, user, IOL provider. The customer and worker can sort things out related to the job or give thanks. Other users can read feedback chats. Any user can open all group chats of other users from their profile.
That was a sufficiently clear explanation, but I would watch this scheme carefully one more time.
Don't worry, we have a detailed demonstration of one of the publicly available apps running on the Internet of Labor platform. I will show it later in this presentation.
Excellent. And who are the users of EOL apps? Or, in marketing terms, who is the target audience for the EOL businesses?
That's a nice question. The audience is quite broad, yet clearly defined. It includes private workers who are unable to work for companies but can provide services personally. Temporarily unemployed people during the period of looking for a primary job with decent pay. Individuals who do not wish to work for companies on a full-time or part-time basis. Those looking for a supplementary or a second job. Retired specialists who wish to use their experience periodically. Rare and expensive specialists whose services are needed infrequently. Customers seeking quality services based on their own terms and choice. Companies needing workers on a non-permanent basis or hourly tasks.
I can say that at least half of people I know definitely fall into that list. You mentioned retired people. That usually means aged people. Is the new technology not difficult for them to use?
The apps of the Internet of Labor ecosystem function similarly to ride-sharing or taxi apps, only instead of a driver, a worker comes to the customer to perform a service corresponding to the EL apps industry.
By the way, the crypto wallet addresses for those wishing to support the Internet of Labor as a non-commercial social platform without launching their own business are available via the QR code at the end of the presentation and the link in the description of this video. Aleem, so there are already apps working on this Internet of Labor technology?
Factually, public testing of the ecosystem had been done at the end of 2023, and the production releases of the first mobile applications on the Internet of Labor platform, or EL apps, appeared in 2024. The demonstration of a real EL app that is available in the Google Play Store in a production release will clearly showcase almost all the capabilities of EL apps.
That should finally explain the working scheme of the Internet of Labor ecosystem and platform to me. Let's watch carefully.
This is a brief video demonstration of the core functionality of BomEbo, showcasing the key processes of setting up a massage offer by the masseuse, the client booking the masseuse, and the service process culminating in final payment. Everything will occur in real time, with both the client's and the masseuse's smartphone screens displayed for convenience. On the left, we will see the client's screen. On the right, the masseuse's screen. Let's begin with the masseuse creating and posting an offer in the decentralized Internet of Labor ecosystem, abbreviated as IOL. In this example, the user is a woman who has already set up her profile in BomEbo in one of the previous videos. Now, she will take on the role of a massage therapist. However, it's important to note that in IOL apps, any user can act as both a service provider and a customer. As mentioned earlier, IOL apps are considered super apps, similar to Uber or Bolt, but instead of a car, a massage therapist comes to you. So, the massage therapist presses the button to create her smart order of the offer type. Here, we see the status, new. This indicates that she is creating an offer for the first time. There are several offer states that allow the massage therapist to edit, pause, and more. You will see that later. Here, we see a list of massage services already included at the time of recording this video tutorial. The massage therapist selects the services she can offer to clients. You can view the description of a service by tapping on the avatar. When a service is enabled, the description of the service is also displayed. By default, the currency is set according to the device's location. The currency can be changed. Since this video was recorded with the English interface, we'll select the Australian dollar. In IOL apps, including BomEbo, service providers set their own prices for their services. The list of massage types can be expanded by BomEbo IOL app owners upon user requests, via support in the BomEbo menu. It's crucial for the massage therapist to specify the area they can cover to reach the client within a reasonable time. Bear in mind that if location services are not enabled on your device, or if Nixel does not have permission to access your location, you will need to manually adjust your geographical data. Now, BomEbo has obtained the current location and, for the first time, suggests a service area in the form of a hexagon. You can customize the service area by moving, adding, and removing the vertices of the shape. As we can see, the massage therapist is located in an area bordered by another country and an ocean with islands. She doesn't wish to receive orders from the other country for various reasons and excludes the islands. She sets an elongated area along the main road, including the surrounding regions. This even includes a major city an hour's drive from her main location. Why not, if a worthwhile order comes up? However, the system does not allow distances of more than 200 kilometers at the widest point. This is to ensure that the time to reach the work location remains reasonable and to help our AI algorithms detect fraudulent users. She clicks Apply button, and the smart order populates the field with the service area. Taxes in BomEbo are optional for the worker, in case they are required by local regulations for self-employed professionals. This is included in the smart contract and the invoice. Additionally, optional information can be added for clients. For example, you could describe the specifics of your freestyle and art massage. Now, you can click Save. This will show you how your smart order will appear to potential clients whose orders match your offer. If you need to make any adjustments, click Cancel. If this is exactly how you want your offer to appear in the Internet of Labor ecosystem, click Set on Market. That's it. Your service is now available, and the system will notify you. There's no need for you to search or filter anything. The Internet of Labor ecosystem has a reliable decentralized network, and you will receive orders via push notifications in Nixle, from which you will be directed to the next simple steps. This will be demonstrated in the following parts of the video tutorial and demo. Therefore, do not delete Nixle from your phone, even if you are not receiving orders initially. It uses no more resources than a single high-quality photo. It's better to keep an eye on announcements in the user support groups, and you'll start receiving orders soon. You can simply close this window and even exit BomEbo completely, focusing on your personal life, family, caring for parents and children, or even working at your main job. Now, if you open BomEbo, you'll notice that the button label has changed to My Offers. This indicates that you have an offer from you. Let's take a look at what this opens up for you. As you can see, it opens your offer. At the top, you can see the status of your smart order, which says, Active on the market. Here, you can modify your terms, add or exclude massage types from list of your services. Once again, you'll see a preview of your offer, including the display of your smart order. Any changes will be reflected in the ecosystem but won't affect existing smart contracts. You'll see more about this later in the demo or in the job process part of this demo. The familiar blue Object Management Commands button allows you to view your smart order, pause it using the Remove from the Market button if you temporarily do not want to receive orders, for instance, if you're unable to work for any reason. This doesn't cancel existing orders, that is, signed smart contracts. The process for canceling smart contracts will be shown in subsequent parts. When you're ready to work again, you simply need to click Place on the Market. Or, you can completely delete the offer from the ecosystem. Next, we will demonstrate the simple process of ordering a massage therapist on your own terms. Now, let's take a look at the straightforward process of booking a masseuse on your own terms. For this video, we are using another tester's phone. The user has logged in and can immediately make adjustments to their BomEbo profile to appear more appealing to potential massage therapists. In IOL apps, clients, or customers, like massage therapists, don't need to search or filter through options. The Internet of Labor, shortened to IOL, ecosystem has a reliable decentralized network, and you will receive push notifications in Nixle, which will guide you through the next simple acts. All the client needs to do is specify their minimum requirements and send them into the ecosystem. Here, we see that the status indicates this is a new order. The client needs to select the required type of massage from the same list that therapists use, but with a different design. For this video, we will choose such conditions that the massage therapist from the previous video part meets the customer's preferences and restrictions. When the client clicks on a type of massage, a description of the massage is displayed, along with a Choose button. In BomEbo settings, the developer has included the therapist's gender to matching algorithm. In the At My Place section, the exact location where the therapist should arrive to perform the service is selected. For accuracy, the GPS request is made by Nixle. Keep in mind that if location services are not enabled on your device or if you have not granted Nixle permission to access your location, you will need to manually adjust your geographic details. There is also an option to find a location by address. You can move the map to precisely position the massage location using the crosshairs at the center of the map. When selected, the form field is populated with the coordinates and address. The address field can be edited, for example, to add details like the floor number and similar information. The client must set a price limit for the massage per hour. As with the therapist's offer, the default currency is selected based on the device's location state currency, but you can choose another currency. The currency is also considered when matching with therapists, meaning only those who have set their prices in the same currency will receive the order. For this video, we'll choose Australian dollars. When selecting non-freely convertible currencies, the system will display a message and provide instructions on how to use such currencies within the ecosystem. The Internet of Labor Ecosystem platform supports the following payment methods. The Instant Pay and Nixle app is the most simple and fast method. If the client specifies that they can pay from the Nixle balance, and the therapist chooses this option when accepting the order, the payment guarantee subsystem will be pended the necessary amount for payment. After the job is completed, the amount is unblocked and instantly transferred to the therapist's balance. The I can pay cash on hand option means payment method is cash on hand. There are some specific conditions to ensure payment using this method. Once the job is completed, the therapist will need to confirm that they have received the cash payment with the adding of the BomEbo fee from customer to the job's cost. This added fee will need to be paid by the therapist. The definition of IOU and its purpose can be read in the IOU balance details in Nixle. Learn about IOU, it's a powerful and serious solution during our global crisis. Now, the client has clicked Save, but the system has displayed a message and highlighted fields that need to be filled in. It is necessary to specify the start time of the job. The system allows for a minimum of 1 hour before the start time so that you have enough time to choose the best worker from respondent and so that therapist has time to travel to your location. Additionally, the client needs to specify a time limit for the preliminary cost calculation of the service. Maximum price per hour must be set. Only those therapists whose prices are less than or equal to your price will receive the order. You will be charged the therapist's set price, which is usually pleasantly lower than your maximum limit. The client clicks save, and seize their order as it will appear to massage therapists who meet the client's requirements and have received this order. The location can be viewed on a map by clicking on the address field or the location icon. When you click Place on Market, the order is sent to the ecosystem, and all suitable therapists will receive a notification. If a suitable offer is made in the ecosystem after the order, that therapist will also receive a notification. Now the client can close the application. Push notifications about suitable therapists' responses will come through Nixle. Here, we will demonstrate the entire cycle, receiving orders, working with smart contracts, the client service process, and the final settlements. We see that the masseuse has received push notifications in Nixle. The details of the notification reveal that there is a job offer in BomEbo. Tapping on the notification opens Nixle with a list of notifications. In this case, there was a match between the clients and the contractor's conditions in the BomEbo app, and tapping on this notification will open BomEbo. In BomEbo, we see that there is an unread internal message from this IOL app. The message can be accessed by pressing the message button on the main screen of BomEbo or by opening the list of internal messages from the app menu. This is no longer a push notification but an internal messaging system of IOL apps with attached commands. For this notification, the command was executed to open the order. Now the masseuse can review the details of the order and decide whether to accept or decline the job. Clicking on the address or the address icon will display the work location on the map. The worker can view the client's BomEbo profile, which includes ratings, reviews, feedback from previous clients, and possibly even disputes. They can also view the client's profile in the ecosystem through Nixle. The masseuse has reviewed all the publicly provided data from the client. Here we see the content of the smart contract, which will be adhered to by the Internet of Labor ecosystem, the client, and the worker. We can see that the contract has not yet been signed by either party since the masseuse is the first party required to sign it in this case. Here, detailed information about the fees is provided. We can see that the IOL provider has configured this IOL app in IOL Builder with a minimum fee amount set. This ensures that if the final fee percentage falls below the minimum amount will be charged. Additionally, penalties are specified for canceling a signed smart contract. This is part of the quality control subsystem, designed to discourage disloyal clients. The masseuse agrees to all the conditions and clicks Accept. The system displays a message about additional required data. The masseuse looks for the red fields and sees that a payment method needs to be selected from those accepted by the customer. In the previous section, we discussed the payment methods within the ecosystem in detail. Make sure to study IOU, it's a powerful and significant solution for our global crisis. For this video, we'll choose the Instant Pay in Nixle app option. It is the fastest and the most reliable payment method in the Internet of Labor ecosystem. The masseuse decides to accept the order, which means signing the smart contract. BomEbo then notifies the masseuse with a confirmation message. At this point, the masseuse can exit the BomEbo app. By the way, if other suitable orders come in, the worker will continue receiving and processing them as shown in this example with the potential customer. Now, let's turn our attention to the client's screen on the left. The client receives a notification in Nixle that there is a service offer. Clicking on the notification opens the Nixle app with a list of notifications. Nixle also has its own notification icon with a bell. This icon may have a red badge if there are unread messages, ensuring that the user does not miss any notifications. The client sees a message indicating that there is a service offer. This means that a matching worker has already signed the smart contract. In this case, it is the masseuse in the IOL app BomEbo. Clicking on the message opens the corresponding IOL app. In this case, it's BomEbo. The client sees an internal message in BomEbo. By clicking on it, they access detailed information about the worker, including the smart contract, which matches their request. The client reviews the public data provided by the worker. They check profiles, ratings, and feedback from previous clients. In this case, we see that the worker hasn't provided certificates, which is highly recommended. There are several categories of documents that can be uploaded, including certificates, diplomas, licenses, vaccination records, and health condition. The potential client is returning to BomEbo. They close the worker's profile and examine the smart contract terms. If they choose to decline, users can add a short comment explaining their reason for rejection. To keep the video concise, let's go ahead and accept this masseuse. This message indicates that if either party of the smart contract changes their smart order after signing, those changes will not affect the terms of this specific smart contract. Now, the smart contract is signed by both parties. The client is immediately shown the current smart contract, while the massage therapist receives a push notification in Nixle. She sees that she has been hired. This means that the smart contract she signed has now also been signed by the client. The notification in Nixle takes her to the BomEbo IOL app. Where an internal message opens the active smart contract. Now, both the client and the worker can see the same state of the smart contract with all its details. In the action history, they can always view the log of changes to the smart contract. These logs are open source. They don't contain personal data but are part of the job safety subsystem of the Internet of Labor ecosystem and can be used for analyzing critical situations. There's also the familiar blue button labeled Object Management Commands, where, depending on the state of the smart contract and the type of user, different contract management commands are available to the parties involved. In this case, we see the option, Track Location. Where are you? This is similar to a taxi ordering system, where both the client and the worker can request each other's real-time location, which will be displayed on a map. The system has a restriction that such a request can only be made less than 30 minutes before the start of the work, allowing the parties to ensure they are on the right direction to the job location and can find each other at the worksite. This option is also available for observers, as covered in the Job Safety Overview video tutorial of BomEbo. In this state of the smart contract, the Cancel Contract option is available. Using this will cancel the order, notify the other party involved, and apply the conditions set by the IOL provider in case of contract cancellation. You can explore different scenarios on your device, but for now, let's continue with the service process. It's around 4 p.m., and both parties to the smart contract will receive a reminder 30 minutes before the start of the job, which in this case will be at 7:30 p.m. We'll resume when that notification arrives. So, it's now 7:35 p.m., and we can see that both parties have received notifications about the upcoming job. The notification directs them to the smart contract within the relevant IOL app, which in this case is BomEbo. Here, the corresponding smart contract opens, and the system shows the available actions based on the contract status and the user's role. This is the same list of commands you would see by clicking the Commands button. Now, both parties can request each other's real-time location for a quick meeting at the job site. Observers assigned by the client or worker can also do this, but they are invisible on the map for some reason. We'll demonstrate this closer to the start of the job. It's now 8 p.m., and we're beginning the demonstration of the location tracking. The client selects the option, Track Location. Where are you? Which uses the Nixle functionality available to all IOL apps. The worker receives a push notification about the location request. She sees that it's from her client in BomEbo and grants permission. This functionality is very secure, and location tracking only works when Nixle is active, with the screen turned on. Both parties can see the job location and each other's positions in real time. The red icon with a target symbol represents the job location. The green icon always represents the user being tracked, while the blue icon represents the user themselves. Now, the client has arrived at the location. The map can be closed. The worker should select the "I'm arrived to the job place" command in the smart contract immediately upon arriving at the job site. This action sends a notification to the client. Depending on the status and type of contract party, different commands are available. The "track location" option is always available until the contract is completed. Now, either party can choose the "start job" option. This initiates the job's time tracking and notifies the other party that the work has begun. In BomEbo, the massage therapist typically manages the status of the smart contract to ensure the client's relaxation. However, if the client feels something isn't going right, they can take control themselves. If either party has the smart contract open on their screen, any changes to the contract status or related events will instantly sync on the mobile devices of both parties. The work has begun, and the system is now automatically tracking the time. Let's allow the work to continue, and we'll review other smart contract commands later. The apps can be closed, and the smartphones put away. The system will keep track of everything. We can see that the job duration has now lasted over an hour, which exceeds the original contract duration. Clearly, the client is enjoying it. At this point, either party can pause job by using the blue "Manage" element, which, in this case, applies to the smart contract. Now, the massage therapist has decided to pause the session. The client will receive a notification about this change in the contract state. As mentioned earlier, any events and data synchronization in real time if the contract is open, and other participants receive a push notification. When the session is paused, the system halts the time tracking of the work duration. This feature is particularly useful if you've hired a worker for many hours or even days. You can pause the work during breaks or until the next day. At this stage, either party can decide to either resume or end the massage session. The session is still on pause. Both parties can review the contract's change history. Let's assume they've agreed to continue, and the massage therapist selects "Resume Job," while the client can see the status update in real time, as they have the smart contract open on their screen. The smart contract resumes tracking the work duration. That's the beauty of a smart contract, it's intelligent and dynamic. Let's continue the video until the end of the massage session to see how the final contract amount is recalculated, and the payment is processed. The massage session has been extended by mutual agreement, so let's see what the smart contract shows now. The smart contract has synchronized the work duration with the current time, and we can see that the massage has now lasted over an hour and a half. In this example, the massage is completed, and either party can notify the ecosystem for further processing. Let's assume the client selected the option to "Complete Job." At the same time, the masseuse receives a notification about this, and the open smart contract updates its state. The contract state is now completed, with a note to check invoices in Nixle. Below the state, you can see the total duration of the job and the final amount, taking into account the actual time worked, which the masseuse received already to her sub-account of the Nixle balance. The smart contract has performed the final calculations and shows the total payment for the job, including fees. It's likely a pleasant surprise for the client to see the final cost, which is less than their budget, even with the fees and additional time included. Now, with the contract in this state, both parties can choose to rate each other and leave feedback if they wish. For this, the labor quality subsystem uses Nixle. The rating system uses a scale from -5 to +5, including 0. The points are calculated based on the final cost of the job. This means that the more you earn or pay, the higher your rating. The system calculates ratings relative to the maximum rating of users within this specific IOL app, rather than an average of scores. A negative score reduces the rating of the user being rated. Giving a negative rating slightly decreases the rater's own rating as well. This ensures that honest workers and loyal clients consistently have higher scores. Work more frequently and efficiently, and your clients will increase, allowing you to raise your prices. After the rating, the system will prompt you to leave a feedback, which opens the feedback type of correspondence for that client in this IOL app. These group chats are available for everyone to read, but only those who have had at least one signed contract with the user in this specific IOL app, in this case, BomEbo, can write them. They then return to BomEbo, where they can still see the completed smart contract. Even if the users close BomEbo, upon reopening, the last contract will be displayed, allowing them to continue with the rating or review. Here, we can see that a rating has already been given. You can access your message groups, including feedback, through the mailboxes menu in the correspondence module in Nixle. You will receive push notifications for these groups. Watch the Nixle video tutorials for more details. A completed smart contract in BomEbo can be hidden so that it doesn't open automatically. If necessary, it can be reopened from BomEbo's internal messages. If you are no longer interested in the contract at all, you can delete all internal messages related to it. Information about smart contracts is stored in Nixle, just like other smart documents. Now, we see that the masseuse has some unfinished tasks indicated by a yellow button with an exclamation mark in the upper right corner. Meanwhile, the client opens the list of their smart contracts, where they can view the details of the contracts in the IOL apps. Older and unnecessary smart documents can be archived, which will shorten your list of smart documents. On the masseuse's screen, we see that she is tapping on the unfinished tasks, which leads her to a Type T3 invoice. A Type T3 invoice relates to the payment of outstanding IOL app fees and ecosystem royalty. You can access all invoices via the Invoices option in the Finance menu in Nixle. Here, she can also see unpaid invoices and opens the T3 invoice. The ecosystem generates a T3 invoice only if the worker didn't have enough funds in their balance to pay the fee and royalty. Otherwise, the payment would have been processed automatically without generating a T3 invoice. From the invoices, you can open the details of the smart contract to understand what the invoice was issued for. This contract is also visible in the list of smart contracts. Although the ecosystem is non-commercial, it's advisable not to accumulate too much debt, as IOL apps like BomEbo can impose restrictions on the amount of outstanding fee debts, and workers may be unable to accept new job orders. Meanwhile, the client is completely satisfied and is now relaxing. The worker received payment to their sub-account in the Nixle balance upon the completion of the smart contract, which they can now use to pay the invoice. They press Pay to settle the invoice, and the invoice state is instantly updated. Sub-accounts in different currencies are automatically created when smart contracts are signed, provided a sub-account in the contract currency hasn't already been set up for the user. The reminder about unfinished tasks has now disappeared. Let's check the worker's balance. We can see that the payment for the work has been received. This is real money in a real bank account, and all currency-related actions are available. It can be instantly exchanged for another currency at the best rates offered by the ecosystem's FSP. Transferred to an account in another bank. Used to pay for services in any IOL apps, or used directly within Nixle to settle with other users via Manual Invoice T2, which supports payment via QR code. In the sub-accounts log, you can view the transaction history related to this sub-account, along with brief explanations. If we open the invoice itself, we'll see that it has been paid. As a reminder from the Nixle user video tutorials, the ecosystem issues SINRO to users proportionate to the amount of fee paid. Fees are distributed to existing SINRO holders in proportion to their SINRO investments in the IOL app for which the fees are being paid. SINRO can also be bought or sold for currency in the SINRO details. We can see that the worker has a certain amount of SINRO, which can be managed at their discretion, selling, investing in different IOL apps to participate in fee distribution, or using it as a means of exchanging it as crypto coin with other ecosystem users. In the SINRO log, we can see the history of their SINRO sub-account, including the entry for receiving SINRO for paying the IOL app's fee and ecosystem royalty for the massage today in BomEbo. Thus, SINRO only arises from real work performed, ensuring balance. Let's take a look at the details of the BomEbo PPS balance in Nixle. There's a section titled, Previous Payouts, Total, where you can view how much and in what currencies fees have been distributed to SINRO holders to date. Let's also check the balance of the client. We can see the remaining balance of the sub-account in Australian dollars. The log shows the payment of the fee and the receipt of SINRO for it. Just like all smart documents, old and unnecessary invoices can be archived. This will shorten your list of invoices. Archiving does not delete the document from the ecosystem, and it can be retrieved in special cases. So, in this video, we have demonstrated the entire process of handling a client order in detail. The client is satisfied, the masseuse has earned, and the SINRO holders have received their share of the fee. Everyone is happy. The masseuse's offer remained on the market throughout and continues to receive new requests. In the action history, she can see the log of everything related to this smart order. There might also be rejections of the offer with reasons provided, which will allow the masseuse to improve her terms and quality. For complete information, let's quickly take a look at the BomEbo investor's perspective on the client's device. We open the BomEbo details in the PPS balance in Nixle. This user has invested 1.7 SINRO in BomEbo, representing 3.83% of the total amount from other investors. The corresponding share of Australian dollars from the fee paid earlier in this video has been credited to their Australian dollar sub-account. Watch detailed job process in the video, acceptance and job process, of the tutorials.
Now we can talk in detail about how anyone can launch their own similar app in a matter of days and organize their own business based on that app in just a few weeks.
Oh yes, the business is the most important part of this podcast-style presentation of ours. But as I understand it, the Internet of Labor platform is available to everyone, and those interested can do this even without the DDN community?
Yes, of course. Just as we ourselves created the BomEbo app and the business based on it from scratch, independently.
Therefore, you can utilize our services, through which we will share our experience with you in a practical manner. It all begins with you filling out a short expression of interest form for our services. All links are provided via the QR code at the end of the presentation and the link in the description of this video. We review the incoming form data sequentially and, based on the contact information provided, coordinate the time and format of an initial contact with you. We give recommendations for preparing for an initial interview with our specialist. The interview is usually conducted on Google Meet, but it can also be a text chat using a translator if we do not have a specialist who speaks a language you share. In this interview, you can clarify information that this presentation does not sufficiently explain. If we decide to continue our cooperation, we begin the working processes. First, we determine the specifics of your app's service industry, the initial business region, what personal resources you own for this business, for which resources sponsorship is required, and which of our optional services you select. We choose the Get service for your app and ask for your account ID in it to include you as an owner of the repository. After this, you'll be offered a contract for our services. This contract uses a special type of smart invoice with the EOL escrow option of the Internet of Labor ecosystem, which requires mutual confirmation of the receipt of the goods or service, guaranteeing that you receive the services under this contract in full and that we receive payment. The dates for service provision are determined. Please note, the priority of service provision for launching such businesses is influenced by referral codes used in the expression of interest form and the volume of necessary sponsorship. In accordance with the agreed dates, on the very first day, the EOL Builder CLI generates a working mobile application with a complete operating cycle for processing outcall service orders. The functionality is similar to what was shown in the BomEbo EOL app demonstration, but tailored for your EOL app's service industry. A private repository is created in the selected Get service. The app source code and the installation package created from it are uploaded to this repository. Your Get service account is included as an owner of the repository. You can install and try out the app from the installation package in the repository according to the instructions. These were the procedures requiring our necessary services. The subsequent procedures can be performed by you independently using your own resources or by engaging our resources and services.
So I can use a minimal set of your services? That sounds very convenient.
Of course. So, your app currently has a user interface design with standard controls and without any custom graphics. You can change it to your unique design and integrate it into the app. The app's design source code uses HTML5 and SCSS. TypeScript is used for the UI, UX, app logic. However, adding or changing localization languages, lists of outcall services, the size of your commission, user support chats in different languages, and all the full cycle order processing functionalities do not require programming or updating your app on the application stores. Documentation for them is attached, including direct interaction with EOL through its libraries. Therefore, you can add your own unique features, for example, like the approximate location overview of customers and masseurs on the globe, added in the BomEbo EOL app demonstration. Before publishing the app, a full test is conducted, including running a full order processing cycle for outcall services between different accounts in the role of service customers and service providers. And the same testing is done after publication, installing the app from the application stores on various devices.
So my EOL app is already ready, and I don't need things like a backend, servers, or administrators.
Exactly. Your app interacts with the entire Internet of Labor ecosystem, where everything is customized for the needs of such apps and is supported independently of you. But you can follow simple instructions to increase the EOL nodes in your business regions so they are closer to your app's users. Overall, the technical maintenance of such a business is easier even than laundromat franchises.
Now I'm beginning to understand why launching such a super app is so fast and probably very inexpensive.
That's not all. Besides the app, you get a lot more, as they say, right out of the box. So now you, or rather your business with its own software product on the Internet of Labor platform, are an EO provider. All EO providers gain access to closed news and technical resources for improving their apps and implementing new capabilities of the Internet of Labor ecosystem and platform. Invitations to international and local events for experience exchange and ecosystem development are also provided.
I remember apps with listings for various hourly jobs like plumbing repair or help with moving. What about competitor programs like those?
Oh yes, social networks are also used for those kinds of postings, but the ecosystem was specifically developed considering their drawbacks and the inconveniences of outdated models of interaction between service customers and workers. We saw in the BomEbo demo clip how much this differs. And regarding the competitive advantages of your business, as is known, one of the main ways to increase ROI, return on investment, is to reduce business expenses while offering competitive prices. Competitive prices lead to revenue, which in turn generates commissions for EAOL businesses. The EAOL ecosystem allows you to set commissions so low that on-demand service systems not on the Internet of Labor platform cannot make a profit with the same commissions as EAOL apps. This makes your EAOL apps more attractive to users, and revenue starts flowing from the first active users. And also, consider the convenience of the order processing cycle in the EAOL app for your users.
Okay, let's say I now have such a cool mobile application in public access that generates income for me from commissions on completed orders by users of this EAOL app. This is already an operational private business. But what if I want to build a national or even international level business on it?
The capabilities of EAOL apps are very flexible for scaling right out of the box. You can test various business hypotheses for a serious business plan using the existing product and real users.
I could even start wearing t-shirts with my app's logo on them.
When developing a business plan, you will need to choose a business model. Various business models are suitable for a software product-based business. This could be, for example, a network of branches of the head company, or a franchise, or local agency services, etc. Whether it will be an international business or a national level business, this affects the organizational, legal, financial, and parts of the business plan, as well as the scaling and marketing strategy. We have experience launching a business based on BomEbo with an international franchise model. Also, we have partners in different countries who help with the registration of various types of organizations, including those with foreign participation and visas for their foreign founders. In accordance with your business plan, you may need external investments. If you launch your EAOL app without a long-standing service-providing business with an existing client base, then your business will most likely fall into the category of a startup. In that case, your product may be of interest to startup angels and venture investors.
Yes, the issue of startup investment has been a very popular topic since the dawn of the internet. By the way, in recent years, financial technologies have shifted towards decentralization, drawing investors towards what is called crypto or blockchain. What do you say about that?
Absolutely correct, and we are at the very center of these events, as their active developers and early birds. In recent years, interest in DeFi has grown strongly. Not only private enthusiasts, but even well-known global financial organizations like BlackRock, JP Morgan, and banks are investing huge amounts of capital into blockchain and Web3 projects. This is called investing in crypto assets, or crypto investments. Even countries whose central banks and governments are also investing in crypto assets have emerged. The Internet of Labor is a decentralized Web3 type platform. Labor as Capital DAO specializes in crypto investments in EAOL apps specifically, in the marketing of businesses that promote EAOL apps by attracting new users. To do this, it uses its unique labor tokenization program, offering crypto investors its governing token secured by real human labor. Therefore, this crypto token is a real-world asset, RWA token. Since you already have a working and publicly available EAOL app, your business can use the Labor as Capital DAO accelerator to attract crypto investors. We can offer assistance in including your business in the Labor as Capital DAO accelerator.
Wow, we truly live in a fantastic time. Earlier, you explained the details of launching a serious business based on own software product, EAOL app. Now, please explain the option of launching own business using already existing EAOL apps from other entrepreneurs or businesses. How does that work?
From the information in the previous section, you understood that businesses based on their own EOL app are called EEOL providers, who can easily scale globally. In accordance with their business plan, most of them have plans to expand into different countries and regions. To do this, they can attract independent entrepreneurs, offering them the best partnership conditions for attracting and supporting users of their EOL apps in those regions. This type of partner business is called an EOL business and does not require specialized technical knowledge beyond the ability to use the internet, messengers, email, and office programs. If you are interested in launching your EOL business, start by filling out the same expression of interest form for our services, but select the option based on an existing EOL app. We will contact you using the contact information you provided for a short initial interview, where we will determine an EOL provider for you. You will then continue to interact with the representatives of your EOL provider directly. Each EOL provider has its own specifics for business expansion, terms for EEOL businesses, a marketing strategy, a financial plan, and they may include investing in your EEOL business. At the start of cooperation with you, they will agree on all contract terms, conduct training with the provision of necessary instructions and documentation, and grant you special access levels to their apps and resources within the Internet of Labor ecosystem. EOL providers are the most interested in the success of EOL businesses on their apps, and you, for your part, should align with the culture of your EOL provider and keep in mind the mission of the Internet of Labor ecosystem. This will open up participation in international summits and support worldwide. Therefore, this option for your internet business on the Internet of Labor platform is the simplest with obvious results. And the experience in an EOL business can eventually lead you to launch your own EOL provider, your own business on your own mobile application for on-demand outcall services on the Internet of Labor platform.
This presentation included a demonstration of one of the apps on the Internet of Labor platform called BomEbo for outcall masseurs. The demand for massage is growing worldwide, on the one hand due to an aging population, and on the other hand, more people are learning about the immense health benefits of massage from the internet. I think that on-demand massage at home or the office will very quickly become a normal part of people's lives, similar to food delivery. Can I launch my regional business based on it? What would that look like using the BomEbo example?
You're reading my mind. The EEOL provider BomEbo is the first fully organized global business and actively supports entrepreneurs who wish to promote the BomEbo app in regions across different countries. You have an opportunity right now to launch your EOL business under the very best conditions. To do this, first fill out the expression of interest form, where in the field Service Industry and/or EOL app name, you write Massage BomEbo. After that, everything will proceed as I explained previously. Initial contact interview, terms agreement, contract, full training, and provision of special access. However, in the case of launching your EEOL business with BomEbo, we can share some very attractive details about the currently known conditions for you.
Go on, that's very interesting.
BomEbo's model for regional expansion is a unique SaaS franchise with very flexible conditions for EOL businesses. This means you can be 100% owner of the EOL business and personally choose the appropriate organizational form for the company, be it an individual entrepreneur, a limited liability company, and so on. Since this is SaaS, that stands for Software as a Service, your business is classified as IT, which nowadays is supported by the government in various forms in almost all countries. and the flexibility of the terms of interaction with the headquarters of the EOL provider in another country often allows you to be 100% founder of the EOL business company, even if you are not a resident of the country where your company is registered. However, be sure to confirm this with a local lawyer in your company's registration country.
So I could even open regional BomEbo EOL businesses in different countries that are fully owned by me. And what if someone else in that region wants to open a regional BomEbo EOL business?
Your EO business gets the exclusive right to a territory with a population of up to 10 million people. This means that all EO provider commissions from service payments in BomEbo within your territory will be credited to your account. This territory is included in the franchise license, and the remittance is automatically controlled at the Internet of Labor platform level, leaving no room for error or dishonesty from the EO provider or EL businesses in neighboring territories. Furthermore, the EO provider BomEbo offers conditions for partial or full long-term sponsorship of the franchise license for promising entrepreneurs who lack sufficient personal funds for the SaaS franchise license. The EL provider BomEbo will train you for free in all the subtleties of running the business, such as promoting the BomEbo app to the local population and supporting BomEbo users in the local language of your exclusive EL business territory. They will provide the necessary access levels to various BomEbo information resources, where you will continuously improve and network effortlessly within a single information space with the owners and leaders of other EL businesses.
And how does the opportunity to attract investment work in this example of my own regional business on BomEbo?
If you plan to attract investors to your EL business, another existing EL business from the BomEbo EL provider can provide you with a comprehensive business plan including market analysis, a financial plan, forecasts, and other calculations. You can use it as an example and adapt it to your region. The resulting business plan can be presented to investors, including the crypto investors of the Labor as Capital DAO, the International Accelerator of Systems for Outcall Service. The BomEbo EL provider will also support you in this.
What if I decide I no longer want to pursue this business?
As the owner of the EL business company, you can apply exit strategies at your own discretion, including selling your stake in the company. Also, should you wish to exit the EL business, the EL provider BomEbo can offer you terms in accordance with its business strategy.
I think I have an idea related to beauty and wellness. Now I'm interested in the cost of launching my own Super EL app and the business built on it.
In the event that you launch your EOL business, that is, based on an existing EOL app, very precise calculations and terms will be provided to you by your EOL provider. In the example of launching an EOL business with the BomEbo EOL provider, these are included in the financial part of the business plan. Therefore, let's consider the comprehensive case of the full launch of your own EOL app and your own business based on it, i.e., creating a new EOL provider from the moment of intent up to providing a business plan to investors. In previous sections, you understood that you receive your own EOL app in the very first days after the contract for our services, and the remaining 2 to 3 weeks are spent organizing your business as a global EOL provider. The launch cost consists of the following expenses, corresponding to the launch sequence I described earlier. You will definitely need our service for generating your EOL app with initial settings based on your requirements, such as the service industry of your app, names, commissions, interface text data, and so on. As a result of this service, the app will be available in a Git repository with your ownership. The EOL Connect library used in EOL apps requires a digital key for access to the decentralized Internet of Labor network and its functionality. This key is unique to your EOL app and can only be used within it. The result of this service will be the transfer of this key to you personally and only to you under your subsequent responsibility. Prices depend on many parameters so that you only pay for the necessary services or app capabilities, as the full functionalities of EOL apps are very extensive and often not all needed immediately from the first days of an EOL provider business. One of the parameters is the payment currency, which depends on the country of your head company. At the same time, your business can operate in regions with a different currency. Therefore, for pricing flexibility, we use the Internet of Labor Ecosystem's internal IOU, a unit of which is equal to 1 hour of minimum wage in the country where we need to state the price of the service or product. Thus, the IOU is a universal, non-nominal digital bearer debt receipt and allows for the valuation of a good or service in a given country. However, the IOU does not replace national currencies. Incidentally, all terms and definitions are described in detail in the Terms and Conditions of Use of the Nixle app. The pool balance of every Internet of Labor user contains IOU, which can be stored on third-party blockchain networks, allowing users to manage their IOU independently of Nixle and even hold the EOL ecosystem. This is another level of Web3 decentralization of the Internet of Labor ecosystem and platform. The Internet of Labor is a non-material, non-commercial technical platform not belonging to any country or company registered within them. Therefore, the digital access keys for EOL apps are provided in IOU. We, distributed digital nomads, as an international community not belonging to one specific country, can also accept IOU for our services and intellectual property. And when these are exchanged for currency to pay for goods and services in specific countries by individual members of the community, all government payments included in their receipt are paid. Therefore, we cannot state prices here in currencies with included taxes in your country beforehand. You can calculate this based on the IOU. The preferred form of payment will be discussed with you during the initial contact interview.
IOU, that's an excellent idea. But still, the well-being of people and the valuation of your services can differ significantly across countries, as can the profitability of their business on an EOL app. How flexible is your pricing policy considering all of this?
That's an excellent question. Thank you. Indeed, among the potential clients for our services, there may be entrepreneurs of various levels: age, experience, personal resources, seriousness of intent, plans for their EOL app, and vision for their business development. It could also include representatives of non-commercial or municipal organizations. Some might only want the initial working app from us and rely solely on their own capabilities for the rest, while others might want the launch of their EOL apps, including business organization, a complete turnkey solution. Among them may be those who can pay for everything immediately, or those who will accept the terms of partial or full sponsorship. Therefore, our remaining services are optional. Also, the prices for our services may change due to economic and political situations globally or in specific countries. Our prices can also be influenced by the number of EOL apps or EOL providers already launched. We have a large pricing tree. We will be able to navigate this tree based on your answers during the contact process and calculate the exact prices for your case. For some services, we will apply hourly payment, such as for consultations. For some, it will be based on results, and sometimes we'll combine them. In any case, we are interested in the best EOL providers and as many satisfied users as possible.
Since you took BomEbo as an example, if it's not a secret, how much did its owner spend on the complete launch of BomEbo?
The launch of BomEbo used the turnkey option with the utilization of all sponsorship possibilities. It can be said that the founder entered DDN with this project, making DDN the first company specializing in launching EOL apps. In this case, the founder's expenses for the EOL provider amounted to about $1,100. At the same time, it achieves a good profit with only a 4% commission and a 20% ROI per year for the regional EOL business's own investors, not counting payments for the Synchro invested in BomEbo. All calculations are included in the business plan of its first regional EOL business. By the way, this business plan is open for regional EOL businesses as an example. Moreover, one of the cloud services provided sponsorship as a startup, where the BomEbo EOL provider launched its set of Internet of Labor ecosystem nodes.
You mentioned the possibility of sponsorship. Should the list of launch expenses immediately indicate this possibility?
Good idea. Let's immediately include the option of sponsoring our services. Based on the social mission of Internet of Labor ecosystem, everyone involved in launching new EL providers is interested in their long-term and successful activity. Therefore, we also provide our services through sponsorship. However, in this process, there are resources attracted from outside the ecosystem and accordingly cannot be sponsored during launch. On the slides, I will mark non-sponsored expenses with red markers, partially sponsored ones with orange, and fully sponsored ones with green.
By the way, what is the difference between sponsorship and investment?
Well, typically, investment involves a third party contributing financial resources to an existing company to cover its expenses under the terms of an investment agreement and in accordance with the national regulations of the company's country. In the case of sponsorship for launching an EL provider, you receive services without attracting finance from third parties. This simplifies the launch of the EL app, allowing the EL provider launch to happen even before registering the head company. This mechanism reduces risk for the business founder, enabling them to test business hypotheses with an already existing public software product. Of course, this means part of the risk transfers to the sponsor as the services might go unpaid if the EL provider fails. Therefore, our sponsorship uses a mechanism of temporary joint co-ownership of the EL provider, without the right for us to dispose of that share during the period agreed upon in the contract. During this period, the sponsor's share transfers to the EL provider founder as the contract conditions are met. This mechanism might remind you of murabah or mudarabah. The financial burden on the EL provider founder does not increase due to the attraction of sponsorship, which gives them the opportunity for confident business development. And if desired, they can transfer the business to another person. So, the generation of your app can be sponsored in terms of some of the services included in it, such as the initial setup of the EL app's service types and the criteria for matching orders and offers for them. The key for your EL app can be sponsored for a territory of 10 million people for 1 year.
Excuse me, but why is the key tied to a territory?
This is related to the fact that territories are exclusive for regional EL businesses. That is, if an EL provider gets a large territory permanently and cannot or will not promote its app by attracting new users in that territory, the potential of that territory remains blocked for EL businesses that could be promoting the EL business there. Accordingly, a new EL provider can test their business hypotheses and attract their first permanent users, reaching momentum within that initial territory over the course of a year.
Right. Could you please clarify, can I launch my business for beauty services in the same territories where EL businesses like BomEbo already exist?
Yes, absolutely. Territories are exclusive to regional EOL businesses only within their EOL provider to ensure their regions do not compete with each other and receive guaranteed revenue within their territories. Consequently, different EOL apps can operate without issue in the same territories and even share the same users of the Internet of Labor ecosystem automatically, contributing to each other's promotion. Let's return to our services. Intermediate consultations are partial services that you may require during the launch and even the operation of your EOL provider. For instance, when you are handling most of the launch work yourself. Depending on the service, we can sponsor them. For the development of unique design and user interface elements, you can engage us and we can sponsor this. If you have your UX/UI coder, we can train them in a shorter period as we fundamentally understand the structure of such EOL apps, depending on your specialist's abilities and experience. We can sponsor part of the cost of our service. If you do not have your own coder, we can provide the service of integrating your unique design into your EOL app. We can sponsor this as well. Once the app is ready, it needs to be published to the application stores, first as a test release and then as a production release. If you wish, we can assist with publishing the app under your developer account. We can sponsor this. If you wish to publish your EOL app under our account in the application stores.
It's recommended to EOL providers to launch additional nodes of the decentralized Internet of Labor network. This brings them closer to the users of your regional EOL businesses, resulting in faster and more reliable connectivity for their EOL apps to the ecosystem, despite possible internet limitations in those regions. We will provide instructions for this and can assist, either for payment or by sponsoring this work. If you lack your own vision for scaling your business, we can share our experience and jointly develop such a model based on your ideas. Depending on your professionalism and potential in app-based business development, we can offer you sponsorship for this work during the launch of your EOL provider. You may already have a business plan of your EOL provider, but you can also involve us. We will apply our experience with other EOL providers and develop a business plan with market analysis and a financial plan, considering the specifics of your scaling model and the market situation for your EOL apps industry. We can fully sponsor our part of this work. However, in this case, we require statistics and data on the market status of your EOL app service industry from you. The business plan with market statistics and a financial plan is the main document for submission to investors. You no longer need investment for product development and market launch, but you now need to promote your EOL app to consumers and service providers included in your EOL app. You can attract various types of investors, such as startup angels or venture capital, for expenses related to promoting your EOL app. We can assist you in this, and we will describe one such option next. The Labor as Capital DAO International Business Accelerator represents the Internet of Labor in the world of DeFi and crypto investments and specializes in attracting decentralized finance into the real economy, and particularly for the marketing of EOL businesses. Accelerating the attraction of new users to your EOL app is the true business acceleration, the rapid boost of your business. The regional EOL businesses of your launched EOL provider are fully suitable for submission to the Labor as Capital DAO Business Accelerator. The terms, application process, review, and provision of investment for the promotion of systems for on-demand outcall services are publicly available in its Purple Book. Labor as Capital DAO has the first and only real-world asset tokens backed by real human labor. These tokens are used for investment in the marketing of EOL businesses, and they are also used in the decentralized governance of the Internet of Labor ecosystem and platform.
Aleem, during our conversation, a strong desire has emerged in me to launch an EOL app, just like BomEbo, but for beauty and care services, and with a different design. I see that this is very simple. And it seems to me that businesses on the Internet of Labor platform are an entirely new and necessary global market for people while decentralizing the solution to many important social problems.
As stated in the business plan of the first regional BomEbo EOL business, we are not taking customers away from massage parlors. We are bringing our own masseurs and their clients. These are the massage therapists who cannot work in a massage parlor, and those who skip a massage because they cannot go to a parlor." End quote.
How wisely said. I would really like to see that BomEbo business plan completely. I think it will be quite easy for the first few dozen EOL providers to build their multi-million-dollar businesses.
I believe we will only be able to handle these first few dozen orders for EOL apps. It will be easy for them, like the first YouTube video bloggers, to attract millions of audiences. But it will be significantly harder for later entrants. As in any business, great competition will set in. Therefore, subsequent EOL providers will have to launch everything independently using the Internet of Labor platform documentation and learning from their own mistakes. And by then, there will be a public graphical version of the EOL Builder for generating and configuring EOL apps. For now, we are using the console version.
Today, you've been with Mookie and Aleem.
Thank you for your attention, and we will be happy to receive the express of your interest. All mentioned links are in one place via the QR on the screen or the link in the description of this video. Goodbye.
And yes, if you haven't yet decided to take active part but you like the ecosystem, you can make a contribution as a donation to the non-commercial social-oriented Internet of Labor platform. The direct addresses of some wallets for that are listed via the link in the description or the QR. Bye-bye.